Joined now at the intermission by Cape Breton Eagles forward Jude Campbell. Jude coming over in a trade from the Rimouski Oceanique at Christmas time. Jude, what are your thoughts on the second half of the year thus far for yourself and for your Eagle?
I think it's been a pretty good second half here for us. We're kind of turning some heads here lately, and we just got to keep pushing, and hopefully we'll make a run in the playoffs.
I mentioned that you came over in a trade from Rimouski. What was the reaction upon finding you becoming to Cape Breton?
I was really pumped, actually. I love my time in Rimouski, but I was also very excited to kind of get back to the Maritimes. And growing up playing in the Maritimes, you kind of miss that Maritime feeling, and there's really nothing else like playing hockey in front of Maritime fans and having your Maritime teammates too.
As a rookie year, players in and out of the lineup, does your mentality change? What does your routine look like during a game day versus a game where you might be out of the lineup?
It kind of varies whether or not I'm playing or not, but I try and prepare the same way kind of the day before. Go to bed early, wake up, you have that game day mindset whether you're playing or not. I'm just trying to get 1% better each day, and whether or not I'm playing or not, if I'm playing, it's a bonus, and obviously try and make the most of that opportunity. But if I'm not, I'm going to be in the gym working out and kind of trying to get better.
You'd mentioned before your godfather, Chris McDougall, played in the QMJHL. People might remember him with the PEI Rocket. How much of an influence was he on you, and how many memories do you have of watching him play?
Actually, the first memory I have of Killer was at a PEI Rocket game, and I remember seeing him fight, and my mom was telling me that I was crying because I didn't want him to fight and stuff. He's had a huge influence on my hockey career. He's kind of been the guy that's always been giving me advice, telling me how I should improve my game and stuff, and I really can't thank him enough for all he's done for me.
You mentioned your mom, too. Obviously, players have close relationship with your parents, but I know extra special for you.
Yeah, me and my mom are very close, and she supports me a lot, and she believes in me, so I think that's the most important thing.
You had talked before how you played baseball growing up, and that almost seems like a trend with a lot of the PEI guys we have on. Did you play at a high level? What position did you play?
I think I played first base. I didn't really play at a high level. I just kind of stopped in like Mosquito and then kind of made that decision whether or not I wanted to keep going with baseball or hockey. And obviously I chose hockey, but I still love watching baseball and playing sometimes in the summer with my friends.
You're also a draft pick of the Summerside Capitals. You did get to play a game there, and I know you're happy to be back in the Maritimes with Cape Breton, but how cool was it to play Junior A with Summerside for a game? Did you go to a lot of their games or Islanders games growing up?
Obviously it was a really good opportunity for me to get drafted by Summerside, and kind of nice that it's on PEI too. And I played that one game with them, and I had a lot of fun too, but obviously I wanted to make the Q, and this was my main goal, but if things didn't work out, that was a very good option for me too.
Scrolling through your social media, it appears you were a star of sorts in a vaccination campaign video once the vaccines hit PEI. Tell us a little bit about that and how you got into that.
Actually, my mom's cousin, his wife, does something for a PEI campaign thing that does the commercials and stuff. She was like, why don't we try and get Jude? And I was like, sure. Obviously, I was pretty nervous because it's going to be on the government of PEI, but it was definitely cool for sure.
I like to ask guys about the International Pee Wee Tournament. I usually ask the Quebec guys, but important for Maritimers too. You get to play with the Charlottetown Islanders. What was that experience like playing in the Videotron Center at such a young age?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I still think it was one of my best hockey memories of my career so far. Wearing that Islanders jersey, it's pretty cool when you're that age. You look up to a lot of those guys when you're that age, and to go there and be treated so professional and just the atmosphere, the crowds, it was just an unbelievable experience.
Full circle moment for a lot of Eagles fans because you're one of a number of players on this team who has Taylor McDougall as his agent. Has he told you stories about his time playing with the Eagles, or does he keep that separate from what he does now?
He doesn't really tell me now. I've kind of asked him. I know him and Nick, our coach, played together, and obviously Taylor's dad, Gardner, coaches UMB, and Taylor played there, won a championship. Played for the Eagles for a few years, and he has a pretty good reputation in the hockey world, so I'm really lucky to have him.
Did some digging deep for this interview. Tell us about the tuque company that you started in high school.
Yeah, so in entrepreneurship, we had this idea that we'd start a tuque company and kind of try and sell some tuques and make some profit. Obviously, we didn't make that much profit, but our goal was to donate back to the Wildlife Foundation. Our brand name was Ice Caps, and we kind of thought of that because of the stuff that's going on in Antarctica. I didn't think of that, but I thought it was pretty cool. And we just kind of wanted to donate whatever we had back to that foundation. I'm
sure they very much appreciated it. Now, was that a thing in that class where everybody was starting their own business, or you guys just kind of took it an extra step further?
You could take it an extra step further, or you could just shut it down when the class ended, but we kind of took it an extra step further to see where we go. But obviously it didn't really end up being so successful, but it was still a fun process.
You were a bit of a fan of Drake Batherson, watching him play. Obviously, you played with Cape Breton. How familiar were you with him in his junior days, and what was it about his game that you liked?
I remember watching Drake play against the Islanders and stuff, and obviously now that I'm in Cape Breton and I know his billets and stuff, it's pretty cool to wear the same jersey as him. Obviously a huge role model when I was growing up. What I like about him is we're kind of both the same size. We're both wingers. He likes to carry the puck, has very good vision, has a very good shot, and just kind of his all-around game is playing with energy, and I try and kind of replicate that too.
See a lot of players will get drafted at 16 and they go back to their respective club teams and then they make junior. How important is that 16-year-old season going back to the U18 level? Did you feel more confident going back drafted, and how did that help you develop?
I think that was kind of the best thing for me. Obviously, a lot of 16-year-olds want to make the Q, but when I look back at it now, I had a really good year and it was really fun. And I think it's just a matter of getting that confidence back.
We look at yourself and tell us about your style of play and how would you describe yourself as a player?
I'm kind of just the typical power forward. I try and just bring the physicality level and kind of do whatever I can to help my team. I like to think I can play in any situation the coach gives me. It's kind of just a matter of building that confidence throughout my first couple of years in the Q. I just try and bring energy every shift and stay positive on the bench with the boys and try and be a really good teammate.
Look forward to seeing you try to continue with that progress. Best of luck going forward, Jude. Thanks for this.
Thanks for having me.
That's Eagles forward Jude Campbell joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Cape Breton Credit Union Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.